In this video, I am going to have you going from begging your players to do extra work to your players begging you to do extra work. Not too long ago, I had a coach asking me, how do I get my players to do extra work? They have to improve. They gotta get better, but they don't want to do it. I tell them to go home and do work and they don't want to do it. Why is this? What can I do? I'm putting in so much effort. Does this describe you as a coach? Begging your players to do extra work, but they never want to do it? Going through this cycle as a coach is emotionally draining. And you can only do it for so long before you give up on your players. In addition, if you think it's emotionally draining on you, how do you think your players feel? Imagine your players not doing it as often as you want them to, and they are still being told every time by you. How do you think that they feel? Just put yourself in their situation. Maybe it's not soccer, maybe it's not something else. Maybe it's someone else getting on and on and on to you about something that you don't want to do. So now you're turning off your players as well. And when your players get older, it gets even worse. So these are things that you want to stay away from as often as possible. Anytime you find yourself begging players, begging people to do something, extra work especially, in particular extra work, it's not going to go well long term. It won't last long term. You have to go around this. This is the default response, but you cannot do this. In addition, whenever you do this, you must ask yourself when going about these individual goals, do you want short-term results? Or do you want long-term results? You want results that last long. You don't want short-term results. Short-term results is the begging route. Long-term results is the players wanna do it. And especially when I'm starting out with this kind of thing, I never expect them to do it for a long time. I always start slowly. Let them build up into it slowly. Just a small commitment. Start with something tiny, something small, baby size. And then depending on how they respond to that, you can increase it through time. And ideally, you'll get it to a point where that small time that they're investing, it's so small and they want to get better that they'll actually invest even more time than what you would have expected them to do or even wanted them to do. So anytime you're doing these things, think about long term. Have them do small commitments. Don't start out individual goals, wanting players to do extra and say, hey, do an hour whenever you get home. Do 2 hours this week. No. For me, all I ask my players is that they spend 15 minutes a week. You can go before practice and do it. You can do it after practice. You can do it before the game. You can do it after the game. Just 15 minutes once a week. Some players ask me if they can do more. I say no. At the beginning, we're just doing once a week, 15 minutes a week. That's how small of a commitment it should be, so that you get a buy-in from as many players as possible. And then the players who want to do more will do even more. Gamification. What gamification does is that it makes whatever you do fun. It makes it fun. You gotta make it fun, man. We're talking about kids, but even with adults, there are so many adults and many of you out there in your job's not fun. It's not motivating. You gotta do certain things, and pretty much the whole day is just a boring ordeal that you can't wait to get out of. So anything you do, anything in which you are trying to get your team, your players to do better, make it fun, gamify it. Gamifying can almost excite any group of players or any team. Obviously, it has to be organized correctly, but gamify what you're doing. So what I do in my case is I say, whoever is the most consistent with their goals throughout the month is the one who gets the most points. If it's a tie on points, both players show consistency. Whoever shows a better display, a better mastery of their skill is the winner. So each player will get maybe 20 attempts in whatever particular skill he has chosen to get better at for the month. And whoever performs it best out of the 20 times will win for that individual goal for that month. So this gets the players excited. It gets them emotionally invested, because part of it is bragging rights, but there are also prizes in some instances in order to enhance the gamification system. And what this shows them is that consistency brings rewards. This is not everybody gets a reward. This is the one who shows consistency, the one who does the work, the one who's willing to go above and beyond, the one who's there every time, no matter what. The one who shows up is the one who gets rewarded. So that's why I really love this. It's not just gamifying things for the sake of gamifying things. It's gamifying things with a purpose, because this is how life plays out in the real world. So you're teaching players this lesson when they're young. And it's important whenever you're doing this gamification system that they see short-term results. You don't want it to be 6 months out, because players will get motivated, because they have to have short-term results that show that there's progress, that they're getting better. So I do it every month to start. But this is very important. Get them emotionally invested in what they're doing. So coming up next, you're going to see a short clip of me attempting to discuss the game with some of my players that were at training. It's not the whole idea of the gamification, but I will be expanding on that in future videos. Like, see who can do the most out of 10 times. No, it's gonna be far as well. So, and then Faraz is shooting. So Faraz is gonna be, he gets 10 shots, and we'll see if he aims good on out of the 10 shots. How many? So it's gonna be a challenge. So first, it's you get 1 time a week. You don't have to do it more than once. So if you go 1 time a week, you can tie for number 1. But after that, we're gonna see who does their skill the best. Huh?
If you finish if I do 10 levels once, do we get to choose what to do for the
But it depends. Maybe Finn does all his goals. So if yes, if only one person does it, then that person chooses what we do for practice 4 times in a month. But if it's a tie, it's going to be a contest. Who does their goals better? So it's going to be a contest. Everybody's going to watch.
Wait, but how can we compete when but our training is just doing but my training does different stuff. We don't always do the same thing.
No, there's a system for it. I'll get that to you. I'll get that to you later. Huh?
Will you keep track?
Yeah.
I'll do my
I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper that I have here. You got to do 1 training week. The person who does it, not only do they choose what we do 4 times for the next month, they do they get another thing here. They get a pin that they put on their bag, and no one else has that pin. That pin says that we do what I want in practice.
Wait, can it have our name on it?
No, so these are the pins for the choices that you have. Look. So you get, hold on. You get this, or this. No. You guys, which one do you vote for? Which one you want?
I want this badge. The star badge.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, no. Wait, I can't see. I want the star badge, actually. I want that one. Okay, raise your hand if you want the star badge. I want that. Yeah, I want the star badge.
Star
Star badge.
What
Raise your hand if you want the eagle, the other circle badge.
Wait, hold on. Who said the star badge? Who said the star badge?
Jack.
What about the eagle one?
I do. The eagle badge.
And the other ones? You want which one do you want?
I want that one. Me too. Steven, which one do you want?
Yeah, Steven, which one do you want?
I actually,
Stop it.
3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. So for now, we gotta wait for the other players. So it's gonna be between the star and this one. Now, as a team, we're all gonna vote for one. Okay? So it's either gonna be this one or this one.
Star badge.
Now, when you get the pin, whoever wins, you put it on your bag for a whole month.
So I have a question. When you take it off,
Hold on, I'll show you.
wait, can you be captain?
Hold on. No. So this one, you get the pin, you put it on your bag, you keep it there for 1 month.
Yeah,
During
the
other month, whoever did the goals, it depends. Whoever did the goals.
Then you take it out.
Only no, but what if you win the goals again? Then you keep it.
So if someone else wins the goals,
You gotta give it to them.
Teddy's here, we can do some.
Yeah, you gotta give it to them.
Oh, that's why we need Teddy's here. Pass it on.
Yeah, only one. So guys, you don't keep the pin. You only keep it if you do the goals every time and you get better at the goals. Okay, Christian, you got that?
He got rich.
So you get the pin for 1 month, but in the next month, if someone did the goals better than you, you give the pin to them. It's only one pin. That one pin shows everyone that you were the most consistent with your goals, and you get to choose the practices. Okay?
If you get your